Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be going through the entire card for UFC Vegas 90. Chris Curtis taking on Brendan Allen in the rematch. We basically it's like a new thing I'm doing here. If I can speak, oh my gosh. It's a new thing that I'm doing. I did it last week. It's basically a bit of a betting podcast here. I'll go through the entire card from a betting perspective and give out some of my best plays for each fight, or how I would attack each fight personally, or if I'm gonna just stay off the fight completely. So yeah, this is like I'll break this fight down, and then I'll go over to the numbers side of like betting, obviously. So here are all the numbers on FightOdds.io. It's kind of like it tracks all the line movement and stuff like that. But yeah, this is like what this I'm doing this every single week for you guys, just providing you guys with more content, more analysis, and just ways to beat the books. So yeah, we're up 57 units already this year, 107 units overall in the past I think it's like 15 months. So we're absolutely crushing it, man, and it ain't stopping at UFC Vegas 90. Last card, I mean, that was a freak show, absolute dumpster fire right there. I mean, what a joke, man. Reffing was terrible, the judging was terrible, just the fights in general were terrible. I lost on the card. I think every single person, I think like 90% of people lost on that card from a betting perspective. If you came out with profit on that card, even 1 unit, that's like a 7 unit night on any other card, because my gosh, that card stunk. That card was a joke, man. But yeah, a new week, new us, I guess. And yeah, let's break this card down from a betting perspective, ladies and gentlemen. The first fight of the night is going to be Tonya Mullins. I think she changed her name or got married, so that could be a little fade angle if you really want to cap that into this fight, really, but I'm not doing that. But yeah, she was called Melissa Dixon, now she's Melissa Tonya Mullins. So yeah, there's that for you. And then taking on Nora Cornolle, something like that. Yeah, my French isn't too good, but yeah, this fight's very interesting, man. I think the odds are pretty wide. I would not be parlaying Melissa Dixon in this matchup, man. Melissa Dixon's going to have a very, very big grappling and wrestling advantage in this matchup. Nora Cornolle is pretty dangerous off her back, as shown in her last fight against Jocelyn Edwards. Jocelyn Edwards, just out-muscled her, outsized her in that matchup with her wrestling, with her ground. And I actually had a bet on Jocelyn Edwards, and I got absolutely robbed in that matchup. Cornolle did not win that fight whatsoever. But yeah, Cornolle's going to be the way better striker, especially early on. And I do have a play for you guys. Melissa Dixon, if she gets this fight to the ground, she's a girl that will look to transition to dominant positions and potentially look for ground and pound, as shown in I actually taped a few of her fights, obviously, but this one right here, where was it? This one, if you don't know who Daira Zelancikova is, she fought I think it was 2 weeks ago versus Montserrat Randon. I actually had a bet on Montserrat Randon, and I thought Montserrat Randon won that fight at plus 180, but it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, this girl's looking to, get your back, look for mine, and get some ground and pound, as shown on her record. No submission wins, so she is a ground and pound type gal. So yeah, I do have a really nice bet, and I'm playing a bet in this fight. Usually I don't give out my bets for this on like these types of videos. I wait until Fridays, where I give out my best bets for you guys to make some bread. But yeah, if she gets on top here, I think she'll be looking to transition to the back and look for ground and pound. And then on the feet, Nora Cornolle is going to have a massive advantage on the feet. She's a striker, got big power in her hands, and she will look for big shots, especially early on, but she does slow down. I love the under 2.5 here, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't believe it. I 2 days ago, I opened this up and I was like, you're giving me plus 195 on this? I thought it was going to be like a pick'em. I literally thought, as soon as I opened this, I was like, okay, this is going to be like a pick'em, or maybe like a plus 120 here for the under, and it's plus 195. I couldn't believe it, and I have a bet on the under in this matchup, man. I think it's value all day. If Cornolle is able to keep this on the feet early on, I think she has the power to crack Melissa Mullins on the feet, as shown in her last fight. Melissa Mullins against Russian Ronda. You call her I don't even know her name, Ariana Aleskiyeva, whatever, man. Yeah, she goes by Russian Ronda, but yeah, she was cracked by Ali hurt in the first round. I could see that happening in this matchup against Nora Cornolle. He's a better striker, more athletic, big power in her hands, and very dangerous early on. But if she doesn't get her out early, I could see Melissa Dixon getting the takedowns here. Nora Cornolle, absolutely horrible takedown defense. Melissa Dixon, like I said, transitions to dominant positions and looks for ground and pound. So I could see like a late finish, like second or third round. But maybe if I can get it on my book, like you may as well just play fight doesn't go the distance, because if like Cornolle's like gas completely dead in the third round and she's not unable to move, and like, you know, with the last like few seconds left on the bell, the ref might just let you jump in, you know, 4 minutes into the third round. So I may as well just take fight doesn't go the distance, but I had to just jump on the plus 180 that I got on my book. I'll cash it out later on in the week if, you know, I can get like a plus 160 or something on fight doesn't go the distance, just for that extra 2.5 minutes, which can be absolutely humongous in women's MMA, as we know, because, you know, they're not really finishers. But yeah, while I broke that fight down for way too long. But yeah, I love the under, man. Ground and pound, upside for Melissa Dixon, and then standing, you know, big power in the feet for Nora early on. She does gas, terrible takedown defense. So I love that from a betting perspective, man. I really love the under. I was so surprised to see it at plus 190. I really couldn't believe it, to be honest. Our next one is Dylan Budka taking on Cesar Almeida. If you guys don't know, Cesar Almeida is my best underdog of the week. I love this guy in this matchup, man. You know, Dylan Budka is a guy that will put on the pressure, come forward, and grind you against defense, look for takedowns against defense. But we all know that's not how judges love to score fights anymore. I mean, we've known that for 8 years. People are only coming around to it in 2024. It came out in 2016, the new criteria, but people are only starting to realize that now. I'm not firing shots at anyone. I'm just saying. But yeah, you know, Dylan Budka is the guy that will come forward, try and put on the pressure, and, you know, look for takedowns, grinding against defense, not really do anything in fights, as shown in his last matchup and as shown on other fights. You know, against Chad Hanneken, you know, all he did was just grind him against defense and win a decision. I actually bet on Budka plus 130 or 140 in that matchup. Great bet so it was 30-27. I'm pretty sure in all judges' scorecards, Chad did nothing, didn't even try and get off defense the entire fight. But yeah, you know, I really think that Cesar Almeida, we know this guy has very, very high level credentials in kickboxing. You know, he fought and beat Alex Pereira. I mean, having a win over Alex Pereira in kickboxing is very, very impressive. He lost twice though, but it is what it is. I mean, Alex Pereira is one of the greatest kickboxers, you know, ever, especially in glory. 2-time, you know, 2-division world champion, so no harm in losing to fucking Alex Pereira in kickboxing. But yeah, you know, he's beat Alex Pereira in kickboxing, fought in glory, fought at a very high level, and I just think that on the feet, man, he's going to be able to land the harder shots. Yes, Dylan Budka is a wrestler, college wrestler. I think only wrestled in college for 1 year, but he's not going to be able to do much, in my opinion, with the wrestling. I think as soon as so how I see this fight going, I think it's going to start on the feet, and then, you know, Cesar Almeida is going to be landing the harder shots, ripping to the body, has a nice switch kick with his left side to the body, very good body kicks, just, you know, very good striking overall, and good hands as well for a kickboxer, and I think he's going to be landing the harder shots. Dylan Budka, around 3 minutes, 2 minutes into the round, will eventually get him against the fence, maybe look for some takedowns, and that's all. I think it's just going to stay there for the next, like, 2.5 minutes, maybe, and then, you know, Dylan Budka will be like, yes, I won the fight, and then everyone on Twitter will say, oh my gosh, Dylan Budka just got robbed when he lost the fight, because and then I'll say, he clearly got out damaged, what are you looking at? But yeah, if you know what I mean, like, I just don't like his style whatsoever in this matchup against a guy with big power, good output. Yes, his grappling is somewhat untested, but in his last fight against, who was it? What's his name? Lucas Fernando, he was taken down multiple times, able to get back up, reversed, and he was able to get on top in that matchup at times. It was put in some tricky situations on the ground, and Lucas Fernando is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, is very dangerous on the ground, and he was able to survive and get out of there, and showed very good cardio in the later rounds, and just out-cardioed him, out-gritted him in those grappling exchanges. So I don't think Dylan Budka has the same type of jiu-jitsu as Lucas Fernando whatsoever, so I love Cesar Almeida in this matchup. I think he wins this fight by decision. I just think he lands the harder shots every single round and wins this fight 30-27. I just don't understand the odds. People are just looking at wrestler versus kickboxer. He hasn't really had any tests in the wrestling aspect. I just completely disagree. The line has flipped as well. Cesar Almeida was a favorite. He was like a minus 130 or 140 favorite. Now he's like a plus 120 underdog, and I just don't understand that. I really don't. I think that Dylan Budka is not going to be able to rack up the points that he needs to win this on the scorecards. I just think Cesar Almeida will be the guy landing the harder shots, that will be impacting Dylan Budka in some moments in this fight and winning this fight on the judges' scorecards 30-27 or 29-28. So yeah, I'd like Cesar Almeida in this matchup. Our next fight is going to be Jean Matsumoto taking on Dan Argueta. Jean Matsumoto, this is a very interesting matchup. I think that the price on Jean Matsumoto is a bit of a... I don't agree whatsoever. Okay, wow, plus 137. Okay, I have... Again, I'm giving out a bet on this. I don't really want to because I want to save it for, my actual video for it. But you have a bet on Dan Argueta. I like this Jean Matsumoto guy. He's a black belt in Muay Thai, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Very good almost in every aspect of MMA, but this is a big step up in competition against a very, very good opponent. Casey Tanner is a solid enough wrestler, but Dan Argueta is another level, man, compared to Casey Tanner. I'm not saying Dan Argueta is a future champion by any means or like a future ranked bantamweight, but this guy's very good, man. Very, very good wrestling. Very strong against the fence. He's able to hold his opponents against the fence, and I think that he will be able to close the distance, close that kickboxing range into the boxing range and hold Jean Matsumoto against the fence. Dan Argueta is a pretty big guy, pretty bulked up for the 135 division, so I think he's going to have a big strength advantage in those exchanges, in the clinch. I think he's going to have a wrestling advantage in this matchup, and I think that his top pressure is very, very good. He does slow down as the fight goes on, but it's kind of just how he fights, and it's not massive. It's not like he death gasses, he just slows down as the fight goes on. But, on the feet, Jean Matsumoto will have Dan Argueta's number all day. He'll be landing the crisper strikes on the feet. He has the better boxing, the better kicks from range, but I just like Dan Argueta's forward pressure, his forward relentlessness in this matchup to close the distance, to close the space, and, oh my gosh, I was running out of breath there, get in those clinch scenarios and look for some takedowns potentially, and if he's on top, I do see him being able to smother that space on bottom and not really let Jean Matsumoto on the feet once again. Like I said, Jean Matsumoto is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but I think that Dan Argueta has shown in his fight against Ronnie Lawrence, when he was on top, man, he was fucking nasty in there. So I like Dan Argueta in this matchup. I got him at plus 170. He's now, as you can see, where is it? Plus 137 now. I mean, plus 155 on that book, but it will obviously drop eventually. Yeah, so plus 137 on Bet Online. Bet Online is the book that basically is like the first ones to, move their lines and stuff, and then everyone else follows after that. But yeah, I do like Dan Argueta in that matchup for plus 170. I think it's great value right there, but I don't know if I'd play him at plus 130. I don't know. It's a tricky fight, but at plus 170, I had to jump in there. Against the Dana White Contender Series, debutant. That's something that we all love to fade, Dana White Contender Series guys. So, yeah, I do like him against a younger... he's more experienced, but not at this level. So, give me Dan Argueta by decision in that matchup. Oh my gosh, bro. I'm absolutely dying of thirst here. Our next fight is going to be Cynthia... Oh my gosh! Why do I keep saying Cynthia, man? Cynthia Cavillo. There we go, we said it. We got there, ladies and gentlemen. Taking on Piera Rodriguez. I don't understand these odds whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen. Plus 140. Yes, or minus 140. Okay, I get it now. I get it now. I got Cynthia. Guess what, boys? Just have a guess. Say it out loud right now. I got her at plus 170. I couldn't believe my eyes. Piera Rodriguez absolutely sucks. She is terrible, man. I know I'm gonna probably get roasted but for saying a fighter in the UFC is terrible, but come on, man. She is not good. When her wrestling doesn't work or her grappling doesn't work, and her striking isn't great either. I think she's outmatched on the feet from range, and I think she's outmatched in the wrestling and grappling aspect as well. I think that Cynthia Cavillo is the side here by far at plus 170. I think she's better on the feet. I think she has the better grappling overall. I think she's nastier on top. I think she has the grittier style, if that makes sense. Yes, she quit against who was it, Jessica Andrade, and kind of hasn't been the same since, but or no, who was it? Yes, it was. I think it was against Jessica Andrade. She hasn't really been the same since then, but honestly, I think that in this matchup, I think it's a bit of a good fight for her against a girl that does so down, against a girl that has grappling, that has wrestling. We know that Cynthia Cavillo has pretty good wrestling and grappling, and I don't think that Piera Rodriguez is going to be able to win minutes there. And in Cynthia Calvillo's last fight against Lupita Godinez, like, a lot of people thought she won that fight, and I wasn't really like, I wouldn't have been, mad at the thought of giving that fight to Cynthia Cavillo. And we know that Lupita Godinez isn't the best fighter in the world, but she's a decent fighter, solid fighter in the strawweight division, so no harm in losing to her. And I think that Piera Rodriguez is a lot worse than Lupita Godinez, in my opinion. I think, I was just checking her record there. I just wanted to see her record, but I think that Lupita Godinez would... I think that all 5 of these opponents would easily beat Piera Rodriguez. Easily. It's not even a question. I think that Caitlin Chukagian would just box Piera Rodriguez up all day. Jessica Andrade would punch a hole through her head. I mean, wouldn't even be close. Andrea Lee would destroy her as well. Andrea Lee's kind of looked a bit washed recently, but yeah. Nina Nunes would just outstrike her for the entire majority of that fight, and then Lupita Godinez would just outbox Piera Rodriguez. So all these girls, this is a big step down in competition for Cynthia Cavillo, and I like her at those odds, man. Nothing, no props or anything. There's no point. I mean, none of these props are even going to be worth playing at all. Like, what's the under? I mean, yeah, it's just, I mean, maybe minus 350 for a parlay piece, but I don't know, man. I'd rather just take a money line if you're going to be playing this fight. So I do like Cynthia Cavillo in this matchup. Damn, we're already 17 minutes in. We're already past like 4 fights. Jeez. But yeah, give me Cynthia Cavillo by decision in that matchup. Really loved her at plus 170. I don't mind her at plus 120, but kind of stay away. If you're going to play this fight, and if you like, I wouldn't even play the fight at these odds. Maybe I'd play Cavillo, but it would be a bit of a lower play, to be honest, like a 1 unit play. I have like 1.5 units on her at plus 170, so yeah, I just like Cavillo in that matchup for her stylistically as well. Our next fight's going to be Victor Hugo Silva taking on Ali Tang Hei Li. Oh my gosh, that's just a terrible name to say, or no, it's not, sorry. Whatever. I'll just skip it. Whatever. Norma Dumont versus Germaine de Randamie. Germaine. I cannot speak today, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot speak whatsoever. Germaine de Randamie taking on Norma Dump Truck Dumont. Yeah, I mean, this is a very interesting... I mean, not really interesting at all. Is it? I mean, it's a bit of a stinker, but it's an interesting in terms of... Is Germaine de Randamie going to look the same as she did when she left 3.5 years ago? That is the question right here. Because if she does, she should win this fight. She should just outstrike, out-kickbox Norma Dumont for all 3 rounds and make it look pretty routine, in my opinion. But she's 39 years of age now. She's had injuries. She's basically 40 years of age. She's had injuries. And she's had a baby as well, so I don't know if she's going to be the same. So I think the safe pick is going to be Norma Dumont to put on the pressure to, potentially look for some takedowns, get on top, and, win this fight. But minus what even odds are her? Is she, sorry? Yeah, minus 157. So the odds are coming down on Germaine de Randamie. So if you like Germaine, I'd hop on that pretty quickly. But yeah, I honestly, it's not a fight that I'm looking to play at all, man. It's pretty disgusting, to be honest. I think that Norma Dumont probably wins because she's younger. She's the one that's going to be improving. She's 33 now, but she's actually been improving. Recently, her boxing, her stand-up's gotten a lot better. We know that she's good on the ground with her jiu-jitsu. Okay takedowns, solid enough power in the feet. I just think her, youth is gonna be able to win this fight, and her activity is gonna be able to win this fight. Not really gonna be breaking this fight down, to be honest. It's just a fight that I'm not interested in whatsoever, from a betting perspective, and I honestly wouldn't advise anyone to be betting Norma Dumont at those odds. It's either dog or pass. If you like Germaine on that matchup and you think that she will be, similar to what she was, she should win this fight. She should be able to out kickbox the boxer and kind of tag Norma Dumont as she comes in. But the only thing that we like about Norma Dumont fighting is that dump truck at the end of the day. So, yeah. Our next fight of the night is going to be Court McGee taking on Alex Morono. This fight is interesting, and I'm not even just saying that. I like Court McGee in this fight. I got him at plus 290, I'm pretty sure. I think I got him at. I like Court McGee, man. I said that Alex Morono will probably win. He likely will win, but at those odds, man, I like Court McGee. If he wrestles here, I know we're saying it again with Court McGee. This guy didn't even wrestle Carlos Condit once, and Carlos Condit has absolutely zero takedown defense. I'm pretty sure Carlos Condit has 30% takedown defense, and that's with like 20 plus fights in the UFC. So Carlos, his fight IQ is pretty bad, and against Matt Brown, got KO'd stiff out cold. Didn't wrestle there against Jeremiah Wells, got KO'd out cold there. But I think that losing to Jeremiah Wells at his age isn't a bad loss. But Alex Morono is a pretty underrated guy for sure in the welterweight division. A guy that's around that 25 to 30 range in the welterweight division. Lost against Joaquin Buckley, but we know that Joaquin Buckley is looking pretty good in his new division. Looked pretty good against Lukasz. Lukasz didn't look the same as what he once was, and I kind of expected that, but. Yeah, I think that Court McGee, if he wrestles here, I think he can get on top here. Smother Alex Morono, who is a very, very good jiu-jitsu fighter on bottom. I'm pretty sure he's a third-degree black belt, so this guy's nasty. He fights like a coach, and he is a coach, unsurprisingly. This guy, literally, he does everything pretty well, and you can just tell he's a coach the way he fights, if that makes sense. Pretty disciplined in all areas of MMA, so I think that Alex Morono will be able to outstrike Court McGee if Court McGee is just not going to be able to, decide to not shoot any takedowns in this matchup. But I do like Court McGee at those odds at plus 290. I don't know if I'd play him at plus 240. I think the line, I don't know, man. At those odds, maybe I'd take a stab at Court McGee at plus 240. I would line this maybe like plus 180, plus 170, maybe like, what would you line it? Like minus 200 maybe for Alex Morono, like minus 215, like we just seen there. I'd line it around there, but yeah, plus like 290. I think I had to just take the shot on Court McGee here to, get him against the fence, maybe work in some takedowns and win the minutes in that area. But if he doesn't shoot any takedowns, I just see him getting outboxed and outmaneuvered on the feet for the entire 15 minutes, and his durability has been questionable recently. This was a guy that had a granite chin. I had an absolute granite chin before these two fights. He was only KO'd once in his entire career, and now he's been KO'd in back-to-back losses. So it is a bit of a worrying sign for Court McGee, but I'm willing to take the one unit stab on Court McGee at plus 290. Our next fight is Trevor Peek taking on Charlie Campbell. My read is pretty good on this fight, man, I feel. Jeez, this is like something that talking for so long just makes me so parched, man. Jeez. But yeah, Trevor Peek taking on the GOAT, bro. He's the GOAT, bro. Trevor Peek taking on Charlie Campbell. Trevor Peek, man, this guy is an absolute wild man. This guy is an absolute madman when he's inside the cage, throwing hammer fists on the feet. But in his last fight, he tried fighting technical against Muhammad Yahya, and it just wasn't good. We know that Trevor Peek isn't good, but it just really wasn't. Like, it was just bad. I thought he was out of his element in terms of the way he was fighting. I just didn't like what I was seeing, and if he's gonna fight like that against Charlie Campbell, he is going to get lit up. If he tries and fights technical, if he tries and make it change his style into some technical guy, he's going to get destroyed, man. He's going to get absolutely outboxed from range. He's going to just get his head bounced around like a ping pong in there, and I just don't see how he's going to be able to win this fight if he doesn't fight crazy. And I do believe he's going to try and fight technically once again. I really do, because we know everyone's been saying this guy needs to tighten things up, and I do believe he's the type of guy, or from his last fight, I just think that he's going to try and fight more within himself, if that makes sense, more technical, try and not brawl as much. And if he does that in this fight, man, he is just going to get absolutely destroyed from the outside with the crisper striking. With on Charlie Campbell, he has the way better shots selection. He has the way better crispier striking with his boxing, with the tighter hooks, with the straight shots down the pipe. I just think that he's going to be outmatched on the feet if he tries and fights technically. But even if he tries and brawls, I think Charlie Campbell will be able to manage the distance pretty well here and be able to counter a lot of Trevor Peek's wild stuff on the feet. Charlie Campbell, this guy lost to Chris Duncan on Dana White Contender Series, but I am going to put that down to, Dana White Contender Series variance right there. We know that these guys on Dana White Contender Series try and just get, insanely fast or like very impressive KOs, because that's kind of how you get signed on that show. And if you guys watch the show, you'll know that big underdogs cash every single week. I think more underdogs cashed in Dana White Contender Series than favorites last year, or something crazy like that. So yeah, underdogs in that on Dana White Contender Series are crazy. Like, the better fighter never doesn't always win. That's kind of down to, like I said, them not fighting smartly. Is smartly a word? Them not fighting smart, and then not sticking to their game plan like they should. But yeah, a minus 900 lost on the show. Ribeiro versus Lopez, I'm pretty sure his name was, or Silva. Ribeiro, if you know who that is, he just got KO'd by Zhang, I'm pretty sure his name is, a few weeks ago there. So if you guys knew who I'm on about, yeah, like that, just for example, minus 900 lost on that show. So a lot of things happen on that show, and I'm gonna put that loss down to him kind of over getting a bit too excited looking for the finish, and I don't think he's going to do that against Trevor Peek at all. I think he's going to sit on the outside, and I do like the over 1.5, but if I'm playing the over 1.5, ladies and gentlemen, I'm taking a smoke break. Even though I don't smoke, I'm taking a shit break or something to get through that 15 minute, or to get through that 7.5 minutes. Geez, that would be the scariest butt clenching over you've ever seen. It would be disgusting. Wow, he's minus 182. Wow. I didn't check those odds until now. I got minus 188 on Charlie Campbell. Wow. He's actually coming down in price. I don't know what people are saying. That's really surprising, man. I'm not even just... That's really surprising. So Trevor Peek's... So Charlie Campbell is coming down in price, but the over... has came down in price as well. I don't understand. That makes no sense, because if it's going to be over, I see Charlie Campbell sitting on the outside here, just picking his shots, being more technical on the feet. But if it's going to be Trevor Peek, it's going to be early in the fight, in my opinion. And I think that Charlie Campbell has the wrestling upside as well to get on top, as he's shown in his regional fights as well. So yeah, I think people are overrating and just overhyping Trevor Peek here massively. I don't understand those odds, but yeah, Charlie Campbell, by being way better at fighting, he's going to be way better in my opinion. I don't understand that at all. Our next fight is Lukasz Brzeski taking on Valter Walker. I have taken the shot on Lukasz Brzeski, ladies and gentlemen. People are not going to like that. But yeah, Lukasz Brzeski, man, this guy is going to have the way better striking. It's not going to be close. Valter Walker on the feet, I'm just like, stop striking, please. Your striking is absolutely garbage. Fights nothing like his brother. His brother's a striker, wild man on the feet, while Valter Walker's a guy that's looking to get this to the ground and ground and pound on top from there. But if honestly, if he isn't able to get the takedowns in this matchup on the feet, Lukasz Brzeski's so much better with his boxing, with his tighter shots down the pipe, and his output is pretty good for a heavyweight, as shown in his fight against Budka. And if you guys have looked at his Instagram, he's on the secret sauce once again, ladies and gentlemen. Let me actually show you this. Let me just hide this real quick. Let me show you this. Right, so, what's his name? Lukasz Brzeski, MMA. So, here we go. Oh, no. Right, sorry, this is taking a long time. So, here we go. Lukasz Brzeski. This was him before he entered the UFC. And then here is him in the UFC. But if you've looked at his Instagram, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is looking in good shape, and that was 6 weeks ago the photo was taken. He's looking in way better shape, man, and it looks like he may be on the secret sauce with USADA gone again. So, and he is fighting for his job, so I do think he will be taking this fight like very, very seriously, man. If he doesn't have the best takedown defense, as we know, but like I said, if he's able to keep this on the feet, I think the value at plus 300 is crazy. And look at his line now; it is coming down plus 222, 222. If you guys, I'd play him until plus 250. That's the max I'd play him until, maybe plus 240. That's the lowest I'd play him, sorry. Yeah, I think that on the feet, he should be better. But on the ground, I think that Valter Walker will be able to, get on top, smother him on top, grind and pound, and potentially get a finish. But I'm going to go with Valter Walker by decision. It is a value play. If you guys don't know my strategy, I bet on value. That's how I make money. That's how I've been successful. I don't always bet on who I think wins. This is a numbers game. Betting is a numbers game, and I play the number. A lot of people, for example, played Man on Fury, even though they thought Aaron Blanchfield was going to win, which is completely understandable. If I didn't bet Aaron Blanchfield at minus 138, she ended up being minus 200. So I beat the line movement there, did my job. But if I didn't, have that ticket with Aaron Blanchfield at minus 138, I would have played Man of Fury, for example, at plus 170 or something. It's all about the numbers game for me anyway. So yeah. Just clarifying that why I'm playing some of these big dogs this weekend. Ignacio Bahamondes taking on Christos Giagos. This is a fight that I'm not looking to play, man, from a betting perspective whatsoever. I think that Ignacio Bahamondes should win, but it's not really, minus 330 for a parlay piece, and Ignacio Bahamondes, a guy that I cannot trust. Not really a guy I'm looking to play in my parlays. The only thing I would have played is that plus 600 Bahamondes by submission. We know that, Christos Giagos is pretty susceptible to getting submitted in his career. Lost 6 times by submission. When he gets tired, he kind of puts his head in bad positions when he shoots takedowns. But on the feet, man, I think that Christos Giagos could land some big bombs on Ignacio Bahamondes early on. But I think that Ignacio Bahamondes has pretty good durability to survive the early first round and kind of just pick Christos Giagos apart for the entire second and third round and win this fight by decision. But it's not a fight that I'm looking to play from a betting perspective whatsoever. But Ignacio Bahamondes should win this fight. He will be the guy improving. He will have the better strikes from range, even though he doesn't use his range very well at times. But he should be the better fighter on the feet. He should have the wider skill set, in my opinion. So gonna go Ignacio Bahamondes, but it's something I'm just not looking to play, man, whatsoever. A fight that I'm just gonna stay away from. Sorry. Our next fight's gonna be Morgan Charriere taking on Chepe Mariscal. I'm Chepe Mariscal's number one hater, ladies and gentlemen. I do not like the guy whatsoever. I just don't like the guy for how he celebrated against Jack Jenkins with a bit of a fluke. People said on Twitter, how was it a fluke? Come on, dude. He was getting completely outstruck, just pieced up on the feet by Jack Jenkins. I had a bet on Jack Jenkins there, so maybe I'm just salty. Just ignore me if you think I'm, salty. I am salty, but just ignore me if you think it's just a bad take. But yeah, I think that, Chepe Mariscal is a tough guy, pretty durable, but he has been slept out cold in his career before, has been finished 3 times by TKO. And I think on the feet that Morgan Charriere is going to have the way better striking from range. I think he's going to have the way better kicks from range. Jack Jenkins was completely just kicking Chepe apart from range, able to leg kick him pretty hard, and up until the arm break, it looked like Jack Jenkins was just going to be able to dismantle Chepe on the feet for the entire 15 minutes. But I do think that Chepe has a good chance to win this fight. I think his judo is very good, his jiu-jitsu as well is very good, but if he isn't able to find the takedowns, man, I think the range could be very, very tricky for him. I think the movement and speed of Morgan Charriere is going to be very, 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 very tricky for him. I think it's going to be very hard for him to close the distance and get past those weapons from the range that Morgan Charriere likes to fight out, with the kickboxing, with the very fast body kicks, the good leg kicks, the diverse striking. So I do like Morgan Charriere by decision in this matchup. I would play, if I didn't have all these bets on right now, I would play at minus 120. Like, damn, they're very good odds, man. I would play Morgan Charriere at minus 120 if I didn't have so many bets already. I don't really want to overexpose myself like I've been doing the past 2 cards. I mean, I won 2 cards ago, but yeah, I brought my winnings down so much by having too many bets on. We were up like 8 units on the card at one point, and then lost like 6 units for the remainder of the card, and only won like 2 units on our money line. So yeah, I'm trying to stay away from overexposing on these pretty bad low level fight night cards. Our next fight is gonna be Alexander Hernandez taking on Damian Jackson. Alexander Hernandez should win this fight. Will he win this fight? Probably. Should he be a minus 205 favorite? Probably not, because he's a guy that's hard to trust. But I do think if he comes in here his best, I think he looks like a minus 300 favorite. I mean, I think if he comes in here his absolute best, he should be able to beat a guy like Damian Jackson, who in my opinion has overachieved in the UFC, and a guy that, to be honest, is looking, pretty old now. I mean, how old is Damian Jackson? Yeah, like 37, well, coming 36, sorry. I read 37, I read this 3 and 7, so excuse me. But yeah, Damian Jackson is older now. I think that, Alexander Hernandez, this is the best Alexander Hernandez we're going to see, most likely, but Alexander Hernandez is going to have a big, big, big striking advantage. You have the better boxing, the better kicks from range. And I think that he has the wrestling capabilities to stop a guy like Damian Jackson early on with the dangerous jiu-jitsu. And, the cardio, to beat a guy like Alexander Hernandez, you need pressure. Damian Jackson has that. You need cardio. Damian Jackson doesn't have that. You need a chin. Damian Jackson, in my opinion, doesn't have that. You need wrestling. Damian Jackson has that. But I think that the cardio and is the big factor in this matchup. If Damian Jackson had cardio, like if he had like the Billy Q cardio, I would pick him to win this fight. But he doesn't have Billy Q cardio. He slows down as the fight goes on, like Alexander Hernandez. And I just think Alexander Hernandez is going to be the faster, cleaner, more athletic striker and win this fight by second round TKO in this matchup. So give me Alexander Hernandez to put Damian Jackson out in the second round. Not really a fight that I'm looking to play from a prop perspective. I did play Alexander Hernandez at minus 170. People are going to say, why did you say why did you say minus 206 is not what Alexander Hernandez should be? I think that minus 170 is the price tag that should be in place here, to be honest. I did play him at that, so in my opinion, I placed a bet at what I thought it was. Not really a value play at all. I didn't think that Alexander Hernandez should be anymore. It's kind of just pick the winner, if that makes sense, and that's what I'm going with here. So yeah, I like Alexander Hernandez in that matchup. Plus 145 on the over. Yeah, I think that's pretty. I think it most likely goes under. Damian Jackson's dangerous on the ground. I think that Alexander Hernandez could be, probably will find a finish inside the distance. So what are the odds? Yeah, plus 100. Not great. Like, our next fight is going to be Brandon Allen, the main event of the evening. Brandon Allen taking on Chris Curtis in the rematch. If I had to place a bet, it would be Chris Curtis in this fight. But I'm not going to be placing anything because I think that Chris Curtis, I don't know, man. He's a hard guy to rely on. Like, he's pretty durable. But I don't know if he's a guy that would fight for my money, if that makes sense. He has cash big as an underdog multiple times in the UFC, but I think that Brandon Allen's going to be just fight this fight like a just pretty boring. I think he's going to sit and around the outside, move around the outside, and just kick Chris Curtis apart. Chris Curtis really, really, really struggles with guys that sit around on the outside and pick their shots against him. So I do like Brandon Allen in this matchup to get his redemption, his revenge on Chris Curtis here. So give me Brandon Allen by decision in this matchup. I do like the over, ladies and gentlemen. I really like the over at minus 142. I mean, minus 175. I like the over as, wow, that was minus 155. Or minus 115. Wow. That's really, wow, and wow. that's really surprising. Minus 115 it opened up at, and it only, came down like yesterday. That's really surprising. I would have absolutely hammered the over 2.5, man. I think this goes over most times, man. I really do. I think this goes over 7 out of 10 times most likely. It didn't go over last time, but I think that Brendan Allen's going to fight smarter. He's going to sit on the outside more, and he'll probably win this fight by decision just by kicking Chris Curtis apart from range. So I do like I do like Brendan Allen in this matchup to get the win here, to get the revenge and win this fight by decision. What is Brendan Allen by decision? Plus 400, that's not bad actually. I mean, maybe play Brendan Allen by decision, plus 400. I actually don't mind those odds, man. Yeah, maybe something I'm looking to play, because we know that Chris Curtis is a pretty hard guy to put away. He's a guy that will be most likely in there for the entire duration of the bout, but I do like Brendan Allen to win this fight, sitting outside and kick Chris Curtis apart from range. So give me Brendan Allen by decision. I actually might play that, at plus 400. I do like that, like just a 0.5 unit play. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It is much appreciated. I will see you guys in the next one for my best bets video on Friday. And yeah, guys, check out all my other videos on the channel with the betting, with the full card breakdown. Just giving out my picks. Sicky does MMA picks as well. A new channel that I've just made, and it's basically just me, uploading my individual breakdowns for each fight from the full card breakdown, for more content, to get my name out there, if that makes sense. But yeah, guys, I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Peace.